Welcome back to Vine of Devotion, week 2 of our Rūpa-śikṣā program, My Insignificance. So let's go through a recap of the verses we learned previously. E mata dasha dina prayage rahiya, Śrī Rūpa-śikṣā dilo shakti sanchariya, Prabhu kohe shunoru bhakti rase lakshan, Sutra rupe kohi bistar na jai varnan, Para para shunya gabhir bhakti rasa sindhu, Tomai chakaite tar kohi eka bindu. And now today's verse is E mata BRAHMÁBHIŞ ANANTA JÍVA-GAԲHA CAURÀŠީ LAKŠA YONITE KARAYE BRAHMAN. A means this, and mata means way. So A mata means in this way. Brahmanda means universe. If we break up the word, it's Brahma, like Lord Brahma, and Anda means egg. So Brahma's egg, or the cosmic egg. Brahmanda, universe. And Bhori means filled. So Brahmanda Bhori means the Brahmanda, the universe, Bhori is filled. Filled with what? Ananta JīVA-GAN. So Ananta means unlimited. And if we break up the word, we get an and anta. A or un before a word is a prefix which indicates negation. So like non or un. And anta means limit. So anta means unlimited. Unlimited JīVA-GAN. Gan means group or multitude, and used as a prefix, it indicates plurality. So for example, Balak-GAN means boys, Balika-GAN means girls, and JīVA-GAN means living entities, jivas. So E mata BRAHMÁBHIŞ ANANTA JÍVA-GAN. Try saying that with me. E mata BRAHMÁBHIŞ ANANTA JÍVA-GAN. E mata. In this way, BRAHMÁBHIŞ, the universe is filled, Ananta JÍVA-GAN, with unlimited living entities. And now the next line, CAURÀŠީ-LAKŠA YONITE KARAYE BRAHMAN. Chaurashi is the number 84 in Bengali, and laksha means 100,000. Actually, in Bengali, when you see ksha, they always pronounce it ka. So lakha. Chaurashi-Lakša. So lakha is a lakh or 100,000. So Chaurashi-Lakša means 84 lakhs. That is 84 times 100,000, which is 8.4 million. Chaurashi-Lakša what? 8.4 million what? Yoni. Yoni means womb or source, place of origin, and it can also mean species. So 8.4 million species. Chaurashi-Lakša Yoni. And then YONITE, the te means in the species. In 8.4 million species. Chaurashi-Lakša YONITE. So in Bengali, the way to say in is you add a at the end of a word. Or if the word has a vowel at the end other than a short a, then it becomes te. So that's why it's YONITE. Or if you're referring to the temple, mandir, you'd say mandire. So Chaurashi-Lakša YONITE KARAYE BRAHMAN. Remember in the previous video I mentioned the word verbal noun? No problem if you don't remember it. But a verbal noun is the name of a verb. It's what you would look for if you were looking up a verb in the dictionary. So one of the most common verbs is kora. That's the verbal noun, kora. That means to do or to make. And so in Bengali, you can change the tense of the verb by changing the a at the end of the verbal noun, kora, change that to another ending. Like, for example, in future tense, it would be, you change the a to bo. So, korbo, I will do. Or to change it to past tense, you change the a to echi. So, korechi. And actually the Bengali used in Caitanya-caritāmṛta is called Sadhu Bhasha, which is the older Bengali, what they used to speak. And so future tense would be koribo, not korbo, koribo. Or past tense would be koriyachi, not korechi. So this word kora, I said, means to do or to make. It also has many other meanings, depending on what you attach it to. For example, if you attach it to many nouns, you can turn those nouns into verbs. Like, let's look at this verse. It says, Karaye Brahman. So Brahman on its own is a noun meaning journey, travel, or it can mean walking, or it can mean rotation, whirl. And if you attach the verb kora to it, you turn it into a verb, meaning to travel, to journey, or to walk, or to rotate, to whirl. Similarly, 2 verses ago, we came across na jai barnan. Barnan means description, narration, delineation. And if you attach kora to it, it becomes to describe, to narrate, to delineate. So, CAURÄŠÍ-LAKŠA YONITE KARAYE Brahman means in 8.4 million species, in 84 lakhs species, KARAYE Brahman means we are rotating. So from the beginning, let's act it out this time. Matta Brahmanda Bhori Ananta JīVA-GAN CAURÄŠÍ-LAKŠA YONITE KARAYE Brahman. Let's try that again. Matta Brahmanda Bhori Ananta JīVA-GAN CAURÄŠÍ-LAKŠA YONITE KARAYE Brahman. In this way, the universe is filled with living entities. Within 84 lakhs, 8.4 million species, the jivas are rotating. We are so zoomed into our tiny lives that we take everything that happens to us and everything that we do so seriously. If we saw the world from the perspective of a little ant, we'd still think what we're doing is so important.
In search of gathering provisions for the queen ant, I traverse a huge distance, overcoming tons of obstacles and dangers. And finally, I find what I've been searching for. A huge boulder of grain, 6 times the size of my own body. So I grab hold of it and drag it miles and miles. And I spend a huge chunk of my life laboriously dragging this grain back to my colony. But then I see a huge object extending many yards crashing down beside me. But I don't let go of this huge boulder of grain because I must bring it back to my queen. That's all that matters, even at the risk of my own life. But then all around me darkens, and I look up and this huge object comes falling down. There's nowhere to run, and squash, dead.
Now we zoom out to our human perspective, and you see, oops, stepped on an ant. Oh well. Because its existence is so minuscule, its life lasting for a few months at most, we don't think anything of it. Now, if we were to zoom out even more and see our tiny lives from the perspective of higher beings like the demigods, then the way we see ants is probably the way they see us. And you zoom out even further from the perspective of Brahma, and the way Brahma looks at the demigods is probably the way that we look at ants. And Brahma is just seeing us in hyperspeed, rotating in 84 lakh species over and over again. But we're so zoomed into our tiny lives that we lose perspective of the reality. 99% of the time, I'm in all these other species, 8.4 million species, and within that time, just for a split second, I get this human birth. But sadly, as always, I waste my time doing stupid stuff that I think is important, and again, I fall back into the lower species and continue the cycle. So this verse that we're learning is helping us to zoom out and see the bigger picture. When you're able to actually zoom out, then the biggest problems we can even imagine become quite insignificant. What is there really that is worth being embarrassed about? Surely not making this video. Why do I make such a big deal of this terrible thing somebody did to me? I lost $1 million. Who cares? My house burnt down. Whatever. Someone falsely accused me of something. Why do I waste my energy getting so worked up about it? This current experience I'm perceiving is going to be gone so soon. When I zoom out, everyone I know is going to be dead in a second. Everything that I think about myself is going to be dead in a second. Imagine if we had the power to actually be able to zoom out like that and see things for what they really are. It's only when we can really zoom out like that that we are able to see what a big friggin' deal our spiritual life is. When our material life is made insignificant, then our spiritual life, and for devotees that means bhakti, becomes the only thing that's really significant, that really matters. But when we make our material life all that is important, when that is our center, then we don't have enough scope to be able to fit in bhakti. We aren't able to even notice it or acknowledge bhakti, truly. So then bhakti becomes insignificant to us. So really, this beginning is like a doorway into the rest of the instructions of Sriman Mahaprabhu to Srila Rupa Goswami, where he'll go further describing the process of sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prem bhakti, and then beyond that, all the intricacies of the various relationships with Krishna, all the moods and ingredients of ras. If we don't first understand the urgency of our present situation, then we'll lack the urgency required to really seriously take to this path of bhakti. We'll look at the rest of Rūpa-śikṣā with our shallow, mundane vision, with the distorted filter of our current conceptions. So let's memorize this verse. This is our zooming out tool. E mata, in this way, the Brahmanda, the universe, is bhori, is filled with ananta, with unlimited JīVA-GAN, living entities. E mata Brahmanda bhori ananta JīVA-GAN. E mata Brahmanda bhori ananta JīVA-GAN. E mata Brahmanda bhori ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. 84 lakha, that's 84 lakhs. Yonite, species. KARAYE Brahman is rotating. So 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. So, like we've been doing, let's act this out. E mata Brahmanda bhori ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. E mata Brahmanda bhori ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. E mata Brahmanda bhori ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite KARAYE Brahman. So, E mata, in this way, Brahmanda, the universe, is bhori, is filled with ananta, unlimited JīVA-GAN, living entities. E mata Brahmanda bhori. E mata Brahmanda bhori. E mata Brahmanda bhori. Ananta JīVA-GAN, unlimited living entities. E mata Brahmanda bhori. In this way, the universe is filled. Ananta JīVA-GAN, with unlimited living entities. E mata Brahmanda bhori. Ananta JīVA-GAN, unlimited living entities. E mata Brahmanda bhori. E mata Brahmanda bhori. E mata Brahmanda bhori. Ananta JīVA-GAN. Ananta JīVA-GAN. Ananta JīVA-GAN. E mata Brahmanda bhori. Ananta JīVA-GAN. E mata Brahmanda bhori. Ananta JīVA-GAN. E mata Brahmanda bhori. Ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha, 84 lakhs. 84 lakha, 84 lakhs. 84 lakha, 84 lakhs. 84 lakha yonite. 84 lakha, 84 lakhs. Yonite, in species. So 84 lakha yonite, in 84 lakhs species. 84 lakha yonite, in 84 lakhs species. 84 lakha yonite, 84 lakha yonite, in 84 lakhs species, KARAYE Brahman. KARAYE Brahman is rotating. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. Now let's try saying it 10 times. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. E mata brahmanda bhari ananta JīVA-GAN. 84 lakha yonite, KARAYE Brahman. So that was the first verse of this second week. I'm really sorry guys, there's 2 verses this week. I'm putting out this video one day early so that you have an extra day to learn this extra verse. And don't worry, the next weeks will only be doing one simple Caitanya-caritāmṛta verse. I just didn't want to spend 2 weeks on this particular topic, and so that's why I decided to add in 2 verses. The next video will be coming out tomorrow. I wanted to end this video with some Harikatha by my Gurudev on this topic, but since this video is getting kind of long, I decided to make it a separate video. So I'm just going to be adding subtitles to it, and I'll be posting it very soon, so you can check back for that. Alright, so I'll catch you again tomorrow in the video I make for the second verse. Jai Shri Radhe.